Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, LaSalle Anungu.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? A little bit of a late start. I wanted to see that Trump speech. Shout out to the people who are in the chat room right now. I know it's a late start. But boy, did we see the volatility come into the markets today. Really excited to see some volatility back on the markets. I mean, that's something that we haven't seen in quite a long time. I was a little bit worried, man. As I stated on Twitter, I wanted to see the speech because if he went on that kind of Rocket Man thing, you know, that's been the one kind of thing that been getting that North Korean leader heated. You know what I mean? So it was very smart of the president to stay away from that Rocket Man talk. So he was very kind of respectful and you know went above and beyond, showing respect for the South Korean leadership, its government, its people, and whatnot. So that was a cool little speech to hear from Donald Trump. What's going on, everybody in the chat room? George M, JT, Jeff Thayer, Sky Tech, Felix Sapini, Jermaine Gill, Ad De Leon, Donzel Essex, Chart Writer, Ricky Sobrian, Cool Cats. All right. Yeah, I know everybody was expecting at 9, but I wanted to catch that speech. So it's gonna be a nice little short, quick show, because I know some of you guys, if I start too late, you go to bed. So, man, this is the kind of volatility we like to see, man. We had today 15 stocks over 20%. 15 stocks under $10 that had gains above 20% today. 15. That's the kind of volatility I like to see. I've said it here the last couple of shows, man. I have been struggling trying to do the show when you have one stock that's, you know, everybody's playing. It fucking sucks. That's why I just moved to options, man. I just said, fuck it, I moved to options, and I've been killing it ever since. Let me turn on my Skype. You see my Skype up? Okay, yeah, my Skype is up. 305-600-2896. Yes, indeed, man. Look, making bank on Canopy Growth. What's Canopy Growth? It's like TW something, right? What's Canopy Growth? TWM? There we go. I think this is it. Yeah, there we go. TWM. JM or something like that. There's the ticker. You see it right there. Oh, wow. Okay, they are kicking ass, boy. Shit. All right. Looks like this so far, these last couple of days have been. All right, so it looks like you got a lot of hesitation in the trade today, though. You got a lot of hesitation in the trade today. You touched. Damn, hold on. Let me see what happened today. Oh shit. Okay, so you had. All right, it was a huge 2-day run, 3-day run, and then the stock just sells off into the close. What was that about? Stock just capitulation into the close. 251, you on the air? What's up?
What's going on, sir?
Hey, Anthony, what's up, man?
Oh, not much, man. I was just giving you a shout out. I ain't heard from you in the last couple of days, so I said, let me call, find out what's going on, and give you the rundown on Tops, man. Tops doing this thing.
Yeah, man. Tops has been just really kicking ass, man. And you know, first it was DCIX. The week before that, it was Dries trying to do something, and then DCIX pops off. Now we having Tops, which is basically just a sympathy play, I think, a little bit of that DCIX move. So, I mean, I think just some guys who are just looking to get something else popping off. So I don't know how long this is going to last in Tops. DCIX selling off today. But, I mean, yeah, if you're in it, I mean, you enjoy it.
Oh, no, I got in Tops back in August, and I waited 3 months. And then on Friday, I saw it made that little move around 1-something on Friday.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, shit, I said I missed that move. So I waited for the opening the other morning, and that joker shot up, man. I was like, damn. I said, let me get on out of here while I can.
Yeah. When I look at these candlesticks, it's just, it's classic, just a sympathy play off of that DCIX move. Guys looking for another opportunity to get something popping off when they missed the ride in DCIX. Yeah. Yeah,
because I actually saw the charts look similar when I was comparing the two, especially that Dries and DICX.
Yeah.
They look similar. Both of the charts look similar.
Yeah.
But that DICX, that thing, it amazed me. It opened at $15 and jumped all the way up to 24.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, you know, most of these small caps shipping ship liners, they've, you know, reverse split so many times. They have very little float. It doesn't require, you know, so much volume to do numbers, and that's exactly what's been happening in, you know, all of these shippers. You know, they've been very depressed for quite a while, distressed rather, and, you know, they've done several splits. I mean, you can see DCIX here. What is that thing? Maybe 3 or 4 splits this year alone. So, I mean, that's got to be a very, very small float. I have no doubt that over the last several days, that float has rotated maybe 4 or 5 times if you add in the several days of the volume. So, I mean, the run was well worth it. Well worth it. It had incredible volume. I hate the fact that a lot of people got burned today who didn't know what they were doing. But that's just how it goes.
Yeah. Okay, man. I appreciate it, Sam. Like I say, man, just keep it up, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All
right. So shout out to Anthony. Appreciate the call, man. Yeah, man. I took Monday off. I just try to get the social life popping again. Spend some time with the lady. You know, she had the night off, so I was just like, okay, let me give her some time. But more importantly, look, Snap. You guys know I had been looking forward to Snap earnings for the last 2 weeks. I was confident about what Snap was. I was confident the fact that advertisers haven't found a way to really monetize the platform because they can't really tell who's using it and how to reach those people. I interviewed people I would say young people in the 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, a few high schoolers. I said, look, are you guys feeling Snap? Do you love it? They're telling me, yeah, we use it a little bit here and there, but, they're still hot on Facebook right now. They're still really hot on Facebook, and Instagram is what they really use. All right, Snapchat is still the thing where they're, messing around with, but for the most part, Instagram and Facebook is where they're at. Obviously, that's a very small sampling of the users of Snap. But not only that, I mean, it's just looking at previous reports. The very last one they submitted where the CEO clearly said, that changes that were being implemented weren't going to have a positive effect on the company until next year, 2018. The only thing, if I can go back in time, now that we know that Snap disastrous earnings report, is that I probably wouldn't have bought so much protection, because now, yes, my puts are insane. My puts are insane, but the protection that I bought is practically gone to zero. So it's discounting from my gains. It's discounting from my gains, and I'll see how it all plays out tomorrow. But I'm really happy, man. I'm really happy with the way everything turned out on Snap, and you're gonna see this tomorrow go to oversold levels. You'll have the dip buyers come in. It'll be a bull trap all the way up. It'll come right back down. So that's basically how I'm going to play this. Selling it at the open, letting the dip buyers come in, and then just shorten the shit. And that's basically the setup. There's no way this thing is coming back to the 15s, to 14. Nothing at all. And that's just how, if you want to play it, you didn't get a chance, just wait for the dip buyers to come in. There's no buying pressure that's going to overwhelm the selling pressure that's going to show up tomorrow when those dip buyers come in. Everybody's waiting for the dip buyers. They're just fools, because all they do is, oh my God, RSI 20, buy. You know. And then that's all they're looking for, and they're going to get killed. They're going to get killed. All right. Yes, indeed. What's going on, Alpha Lewis? Silver by the ounce. What do I think about tops? I think they're, just sympathy plays, man. So if you're already in them, don't buy them. If you're already in some of these shipping companies, watch the price action. And be careful, and don't buy too high, right? I mean, how much would you hate to be the guy who bought, DCIX at $27? Because that guy is out there. 845, you're on the air. What's up?
It's Ken. How's it going?
Ken, what's up with you, man?
Congratulations. I mean, you called that Snap for days. You kept saying buy puts. I'm really happy.
Well, and some people listened, and unfortunately, some people didn't, and it is what it is, man.
Yeah, so that's great. How about the other one, Priceline? And I didn't have the guts, and I really should have. I mean, you could have made 2,000%.
After that conversation with Mr. Lloyd, he had called in, and he brought it to our attention about the spread on the options, and he was absolutely right. They're just way too wide. It still would have made sense, right? I mean, basically what the stock did, but
wow.
But capitulation all across the board. In Priceline, he said it himself that it wasn't going to beat, and sure enough, he was right. I mean, and if you saw the earnings, they basically said this, what we had talked about on that show. The hurricanes in Florida as well as in Houston played a huge part in, hotels and car companies and tourists not, using their service in those big popular areas that bring in a lot of revenue for them. So that really, really hurt them.
Yeah, fascinating.
Yeah.
Great time, and finally got volatility in the market now.
Yes, it was, and I hope this keeps going. I mean, because this was the kind of days I love to see in small caps, because you make money in days like this. I mean, the 2%, 3% days. I mean, they kill traders who like to be in and out. So, absolutely.
One thing I wanted to mention, all these dry shippers and the way they moved, could that be signaling a short-term top? Usually when we get this rampant, crazy speculation, it's right before we get some volatility, strong downward motion in the market.
It could be. It could be, Ken. That's a really good, interesting idea you bring up there, because, I mean, when you look at the Dow Industrials and you look at the Qs, I mean, you are seeing some hesitation at these higher prices. We had a gain today in the Qs, but it was a very small one, right? SPX, the overall exchange, SPS 500, where we were down, half a dollar, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're moving, but we're just not. I think we're running out of steam, and I think people are looking for a pullback here. So you got to be cautious if you're in the large caps as well. But if you're in small caps, I think enjoy this volatility while you have it.
Well, the IWM, I mean, that took a pretty big drop. If it was the Dow, it would have been 264 points down today. If you look at the IWM today,
absolutely insane. We talked about it last week about the revised tax plan. that really was going to be one that was going to benefit tickers in the IWM.
Right.
Now there's a lot of murkiness about where that's going to end up. Now we're not even talking about it being brought to the floor in 2017. Now we're talking about 2018. Now we're thinking about now with some of the elections that we had tonight, we don't even know if it's ever going to be brought to the field. I think that has to be really talked about right now. I don't know if you saw some of the elections that happened tonight across the country. The conservatives didn't do so well. How does this affect policy moving forward? I'm short IWM. If that was what I was thinking about doing, I would definitely be short here and just continuing to hold this.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And then you have oil. Oil's trying to break out to new highs now.
Yeah,
so, there's a lot of opportunity out there.
We were all over this last week. We talked about how the Saudis, they're literally manipulating the price of oil right now. All those guys, all those countries over there in the Middle East, they're all working together to keep the price of oil going higher. Saudi Arabia, they're going public with their cash cow Aramco. That's going to be possibly $1 to $5 trillion, publicly traded company. That's going to be insane when that comes out, especially when you're talking about $60 a barrel oil, if that's going to be at that level. So some of these small cap oil companies are running as well. No, not all of them, but many of them are moving. Just find them and go for the ride.
Definitely. Can I just bring up a couple of the small caps that I'm
let's go.
No problem. As well? Okay, so ATPT I think is one. It's like 0039, closed at a new high today. It looks good.
Yeah. Okay. Up 27%. Love to see some more volume into this, but so far I love the price action. I don't know what that one day was when you shot up there. To the penny level. I mean, that means somebody bought at that level. So I'm not sure, who that guy is, and he's way, fall off his ass right now. But
I know.
Yeah, nice price action for today, though. Nice price action for today.
The other one was JBZY. That's that Chinese one that used to be DOLV. Came down all the way to 0.58 this morning, but recovered off the low, closed at 7 cents. If you look at it last week, remember last week, it was like 2 weeks ago, it went from 4 to 16 on the name change, all the way back down to 4.8 cents, and then it bounced to close to 8 cents yesterday. Looks interesting to me.
Yeah, this was a quickie, man. I don't know how much this has anything left. I think if you've been on the sidelines, take a small position and let it prove itself to you. But otherwise,
yeah, I agree.
I would just be cautious about this one now at where it is right now.
Okay. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, take care.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Ken for the call, and Anthony. I appreciate you guys. Joe Silva, what's up, man? GSL. Let's look at your ticker here. All right. Yeah, I mean, another freight stock. Look, enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. You got a lot of little freights, running, and that's kind of what you do when you have a situation like this where the entire sector is hot, or you just had one stock. And if you miss the move, go find something else that, guys may want to jump on. May want to jump on. That's where you kind of hop on something like StockTwits or Twitter and try to find, who's talking about what else could really move here. Don't know too much about this particular one, though. GSL, $80 million market cap. So this is a small one. That's a small one. Katisha brought an RLOG. Yeah, we brought that up just a second ago. Man, 314%. Again, I don't know what the float is on this, but it traded 70 million shares today. That's an insane amount of volume. How do you trade 70 million shares on no news? So that tells me, I don't know if somebody sent out an email. I don't know where this how do you generate 70 million shares in volume when your average was 1.2? That's incredible. And they showed up in the morning, so somebody got the word out about it, really. Because if it's kind of one of those random moves where you'll see it'll be very light to begin with, and then it gets heavy. It'll be really light, and then it gets heavy. And you saw that. Let me see here. Actually, DCIX too was very similar too, but You see here a little bit going back to the second. All right. Wow. Wow. Okay. RLOG 314%. Shit. Wow. I got to give it to a monster kill on that one, man. That's, you know. Oh, that was too low. Let me do that again. That was way too low. Monster kill. There we go. That was insane. RLOG, huge move on that one. Huge move on that one. Is there more hope for RLOG? I don't know. I mean, we didn't think DCIX was going to have a second day. I did not believe DCIX was going to have a second day. And, you know, it did. Here's DCIX. Here's the sell-off into the close, right? The sell-off into the close. And then the very next day, you squeezed the shit out of those shorters who thought that it was game over on that first day. You know, here came the you know, guys getting ready to squeeze the shit out of you, and that's exactly what happened. So, you know, can you have a day like this on RLOG tomorrow? The fact that you didn't sell off, that's a little bit disturbing. So, you know, do buyers say, hey, let me allow this to sell off before I jump in this? That's the only thing I would look at. All right, but that sell off into the close really, you know, helped the idea of that second day squeeze, you know. All right, QSIM. Let's take a look at some of these small caps. QSIM, you know, I haven't seen this stock run in quite a while. I mean, this was one of those older plays that we used to talk about way back when. I mean, I can remember pulling it. Here it is, like 131. We would talk about it back then. Let me go back here in January. It's so far back where it had a move back in January, but for the most part, it had been very quiet. Looks like it did things a couple of days here. Nice move on it, but it looks like, I don't know if it's a one-day thing or not, but a lot of volume coming into the play. Don't know where this is going, though. Chart writer, you're in RLOG at 129. Andrew Gladness played today like a champion. Got in after pre-market high, 76 cents. Saw a lot of volume. Got about out 150. Yeah, Seadrill is a mover too. Seadrill is definitely a mover too. I mean, Seadrill has done some real things. I mean, if you go back on some of these days we used to talk about Seadrill, boy, Seadrill can move. Seadrill can really, really move if you catch it at the right time. Absolutely. MJNA, medical marijuana. Wow. And we pulled up the, hold on, MJNA. Shit. Is marijuana back, or is this just a one-off thing? This is, I mean, it's looking like a one-off thing. But I mean, we talked about it on what today is just Tuesday. Hold on. This should be Friday. This is Thursday of last week. All right, so we haven't pulled up MJNA in a while, but damn. Nice move here from a nickel. I mean, you're up 100% since the 16th. I mean, I wouldn't go in now. I think if you're looking for it, you're just, you know, giving somebody gains right now if you to buy now. It's a little late. Oh, absolutely, chart writer. I mean, talk about being late to the party. I mean, you jump in MJNA now, you're a bag holder for sure at these levels. You're a bag holder for sure at these levels. I think you've already showing, looks like maybe some resistance up here. I mean, but I don't know what's driving this higher. You know, is it news? What could it be? You let me know. But MJNA, you know, looking, I don't know, maybe you could be looking for one more day tomorrow. We'll see. But you'll be padding somebody's gains tomorrow if you jump in on that. NNSR. I've been seeing this one going through the Twitter sphere. Guys trying to get people to jump in on this. You know, go to Twitter and see what guys are talking about. I mean, look, it's just one of those things where guys are just trying to get people to load up. I don't know what the news is on this one, but we see that almost every 2 weeks. You know, somebody brings up a ticker, gets a little group around it, share it to your friends, tell everybody to get in. That's kind of one of those things. We saw it a couple weeks ago on FRSF. What was that? I think it was FRSF or something like that, right? Or FSRF. What was that bullshit ticker again? That they were trying to play was a $2 billion fund. I mean, just a load of shit. BONT. Bonton stores. Not a fan of retail. Not a fan of retail at all. By the way, we got Macy's tomorrow morning. Macy's tomorrow morning. JCPenney on Friday. If you're a penny stock trader, you need to be on that JCPenney, man. You need to be on that JCPenney on Friday. You know, I don't expect that to lose like 50% on the day or nothing like that. It's already so far beat down. I played it today on the option side. Last 2 days. It took almost 2 days to get out of the trade. Got profit, but shit. Horrible stock to play on the option side, but great volume as a stock. And probably should have played it that way just because it's already so cheap. The Bonton stores, 5.9% gain. Don't know where this is going, man. I hate charts like this where it's just, you know, where are we at? What is this going? What's going on here? Yeah, I don't like the chart. I don't have enough security here to really decide to go long. Way too much downside risk. Ugly chart. Ugly chart. FRFS. Yeah, that was the ticker. FRFS. Yeah, look at that. They're just playing games at this point. FRFS was the ticker. They're just playing games at this point. Just playing games at this point. KBIO. I'm seeing invalid symbol. Did that get delisted or something? PHOT. Let's take a look at it. Grow Life. I remember this Grow Life. Used to trade for a lot more. Grow Life. Look at it, as you can see here, very irregular volume. Gosh, man, this is a horrible. You don't want to trade anything that looks like this, man. I mean, just skip it. You know, you pull up a chart that looks like this, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. CIE. What happened? CIE. I mean, damn, shit. Why did they lose 15% of oil play? Cobalt Energy warns of possible bankruptcy filing. Oh, okay. Well, that's what happened. I'm seeing here the company did release warning of a possible bankruptcy filing. I mean, it's so sad because now that oil is running, I mean, this is when you would think their fortunes would change around, but too little too late for CIE, which would have been a really great dip buy, and it was setting up to be a very nice dip buy, but looks like the company kind of screwed themselves over by releasing that information. I think if they didn't come out so soon with that, you'd probably be talking about a green day today in CIE. But you know, look, some of these companies will keep it honest more than others, and CIE was one of them today. JNUG gold pulling back today. You know, look, we just got done talking to Ken, and look, if you want a long gold, this is probably the time to be long in gold right now. Just because if this market does, you know, go south, which looks like it's setting to set up, at least in the short term, right? Unless in the short term, we're going to get a sell-off. You long gold now, and I think you can get $1 out of it from where you are right here. You can get $1 out of it from where you are right here in gold. But look for the confirmation on the sell-off on the SPX and on the NASDAQ, you know, before you go that way. But, you know, look, that's what Warren Buffett teaches you, right? Buy when everyone else is kind of afraid of it. Obviously, when the trade makes sense, but you know, look, there are other ways to play gold if you want to go a little bit cheaper. GDX, actually a little bit more. JNUG, a couple other ways to play gold as well too. But JNUG is always a favorite because the volatility in JNUG. Actually, yeah, you know what? Stick to JNUG. GDX just doesn't have the volatility. Stick to JNUG. Stick to JNUG. All right. Of course, there's the GLD. Of course, there's GLD. ZN, Zion Oil and Gas. Man, I don't know what's been going on with that. That was a huge winner at the beginning of the summer. I don't know what happened to that. 980, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Sal? This is Mr. Gladys.
Hey, what's going on with you, bro?
Good, good. I got 3 tickers from the screener that I do every night from FinViz.
Okay.
The first one is BIOS.
BIOS. All right. Now you do a screen from FinViz. What are you looking for on that screen?
Well, I do the price under $5, and I do the recommended buy, strong buy, and then I do the spinning top white.
Okay. All right.
And it always sets up good plays. It seems like I've been doing this recently.
All right, yeah.
And
if it works for you, that's what's up.
But yeah, as you show the display for the ticker, I have another one too. I have 2 of them, 2 more.
Okay. Well, before we jump to your next play, I'm now that we got your ticker up here, that BIOS, what do you see in it? I mean, what do you like about it moving forward? Like, what brings it to your attention besides it's meeting your criteria?
Okay, it has a million volume. Mm-hmm. The market cap's like 250 million, but it's like a 52% change. But before any stock rises, it always gets a little spurt in the very beginning. Mm-hmm. Besides that, that's the only thing that comes up. But the FinViz does a good job of searching all the businesses, and I do this every time. It seems like I've been winning every time just off of their recommendations off these 3 suggestions off of FinViz.
Okay. Yeah, definitely BIOS, very short-term bearish momentum in the trade right now. Just be a little careful with it. Be a little careful with it, but you're on the you're slightly oversold here on BIOS. Just pay attention. You do have a lot of selling going on in the stock here. It looks like it didn't do so well for earnings. So just be aware there is some selling pressure there. What's your next ticker?
HEAR.
HEAR here. Okay, yeah, this was a runner back during the summer, right? I think it had a couple days back here in the summer that looked really good. Turtle Beach Corp, Home Audio. We've looked at it before. Obviously, it doesn't look like a 67 cents. I mean, this is okay, but again, I'm not feeling the volume on it. Only 100,000 shares traded. I wouldn't take a look at it. And Andrew, if I were you, go ahead and add in on your screen at least minimum 500,000 shares traded. I honestly put in 1 million. I wouldn't even look at anything less than 1 million, really, because you want that good volume to make sure you're getting a great market of a lot of buyers and sellers. Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I wouldn't look at anything really less than 1 million. Just to make sure you're getting a good liquid market. All right. What other ticker did you have for us?
Well, I just made that customization, but let me go back to Annie. The last one is the PLX.
PLX. All right. Now this one too, light on the volume, but we just got done talking about down 3%. This one can move. We've talked about this stock. This one can move. I think maybe this might not be the entry you'd want to be at because you don't have too much downside support. Where you at now? So I would probably let this cool off unless you start seeing some real support being developed at these levels. I mean, you got a couple days here in October, but I don't trust it, with its recent price action. So, it's a biotech play, so find out what the story is. Those aren't, ones you can just simply look at a trend and follow. They have underlying news, products that are being developed to find out where they are in the process of those drugs or whatever they're putting out. And, maybe if they, got some news to deliver about a trial or a drug, that's where you play, something like this.
Great. So, and I got one more general question for like those beginner traders out there too. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can give them a hint or whatnot.
Yeah, go
How
ahead.
can you tell in level 2, right, if they're buying a bunch, like if you get a big buyer that comes in and he buys like 50,000 shares or 20,000 shares or whatever is big, like 10,000 or more, and he's buying those shares to short, or is he buying those shares to go long? What's the indication in that?
Well, you don't know. I mean, you don't know. I mean, that's if guy's on the bid, I mean, he's buying shares to do whatever it is his choice. You don't know. So, I mean, you have no idea. I mean, you just know that there's somebody on the bid who's looking to buy big, and that is sometimes an indication for other traders who are, looking at that and saying, oh, wow, okay, somebody who's got a lot of money is interested in this stock, and, I may want to follow that trade in. Now, not necessarily with similar size, but with your little money that you have to follow, the money into the trade. For example, there are Twitter accounts where all they do all day is basically post, trades showing large amounts of buying. So if you pull up SDRL today, you can see those accounts where, guys were going in at 100,000 shares, 200,000 shares on SDRL. So people who have smaller accounts see that action and they want to be a part of it. So, but yeah, to be able to identify what they're going to do with the trade, that's just impossible.
Wow. See, that's what, like you said like your earlier shows, when you say the richer people control the market because they can all get together, you know what I mean, and literally push it anywhere they want to, and then we get the amateurs and like the middle people to rather buy in to short it or buy in along it. And whatever position everybody decides to make, they sit there and laugh about it probably. And it's so frustrating when there's no system or something that I've researched the last 7 months that you can find that out if they're shorting it or long. And it's like a competitive advantage, but the rich people control it. And it's so frustrating sometimes as a trader.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're going in on the short term. I mean, they're playing, with the volatility. They look for those small cap stocks that the small traders are trading because you guys provide the liquidity that they can go in and out of those trades with large size. So, that can be very frustrating for small traders like yourself. But, you got to be aware that they're using your volume against you. So you've got to be very cautious and following that level 2, learning your candlesticks, and understanding when, selling pressure is showing up. That's your time to exit as well, because that means large traders are exiting the position or exiting the stock, and you should be doing as well. All right.
Awesome, man.
Appreciate
all right,
the call,
I got
man.
2 little small statements.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tanner. Has he called in recently, and has African Emporium called in recently? Because I love hearing them too.
I haven't heard from Africa Emporium. Tanner, I'm not sure familiar. If you're talking about Connor, we spoke to Connor last week. He has a channel on YouTube. I just talked with Connor. Well, tweeted him. Not even an hour ago. So, but no, I'm not talking with Africa Emporium. I mean, nice guy, cool guy, or everything like that. But I'm sticking with stocks, and I'm just not interested in some of these cultural issues that he may want to discuss. I just don't care about those anymore. So I'm making money. My mind is clear. I've done some of the best trading in my life in the last 2.5 weeks, and I'm just focused on the money right now. So that's what it is, bro.
Well, great. Well, keep the hard work, you know what I mean? And I love calling the show and hearing it. And now I got me a laptop now. It's legitimate. So I'm back in action.
That's where it is, man. Start small and then end up big, bro. You know, big things have small beginnings. So appreciate the call, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
All right. So thank you, Andrew Gladness, for the call, bro. Great caller. Great caller. Good questions. Good questions. What's going on, K-Mac? Cali girl, what's up? Let's go back to these tickers here. RXII. 3%. You know, this is a very bullish runner too. This could be a very bullish runner sometimes. But right now, you know, just really falling out of favor with traders. I know you're looking to find something, get in early and ride the wave. 478,000 shares traded right now. Unless you see a story here, I'm not feeling the chart. Let's look at the weekly and see whether or not. Let's see, where are we at on the weekly? All right, so very beat up even on the weekly. Yeah, I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all. I'm not sure what the excitement is on that one. What's going on, DJ Rob? DTII would have been a really nice trade if you know, something would have popped off tonight, right? But I mean, looks like we just had a, you know, typical speech today, nothing big. DTII, you know, if you're going long here, we talked about this one last week. Put in a small position and just sit on it, but I think you have very little downside risk here. It's a basically play and wait situation in DTII. That's what it is right now. That Gerardo, what's up, man? Yeah, talked a little bit of RLOG. I mean, enjoy it, Chris. I mean, you know, talk about the price action. I mean, 314%. 314. I got almost 100 people in here. Everybody press like on this video right now, man. Press like. Shout out to all the people who donate on the Patreon. Much respect to you. Hey, 100 people showing up. I started the show late, too. RLOG, 314% gain. Is that going to continue tomorrow? I don't know, because that looks way overbought. Let me look at that one more time. Oh, man, that's way... Are we in the 90s? Shit. Yeah, that's got a 95 RSI. Right now. Am I right on that? Yes, it is. Yeah, I think if you're in too high, you're going to be holding the bag in the morning. You might be holding your bag in your morning, you know, if you don't, because I don't know if you're going to have buyers up there looking at that RSI level. But again, you know, we've had anomalies, right? I just shorted Intel a couple of days ago. That ended up going to 98 on the RSI. So, but look, that's a completely different company, and that's incomparable to what you have going on in RLOG right now. Only 649 in Alaska. Joel Craft, what's up, man? Joel Craft all the way up in Alaska, 6:49 p.m. Shout out to Alaska, man. I've never been to Alaska, but when I saw that movie with that guy who went out there and froze to death, man, I said, shit, I ain't never going over there. This guy said, I'm going to give up my life and go to Alaska and travel. You know. Into the Wild. It's called Into the Wild, man. I saw that movie years ago. I said, man, fuck that shit. I ain't never going to Alaska. CME. Nice chart here. Oh, speaking of Alaska, Joel, do you guys get a check, or you got to be Native American to get a check? Somebody told me that if you live in Alaska, you get like $2,000 a month to live there because the government wants people over there. But then I've heard some people say you got to be Native American to get a check. Not that I'm interested in getting the check. I mean, I'm just asking for a friend. CME, $137 stock, financial stock. Yeah, it's had a really good year, man. Really good year. Let me see. Somebody brought up HMNY. Okay, no, I don't see nothing there on HMNY. IZEA, another one of those stocks that, again, we see this all the time, right? I mean, that's why you got to be really careful with these runners. I mean, because when people get tired of them, they move on to something else. That's kind of how they look like. Joel says, any resident who stays here 1 year gets a dividend for $1,100. So, Joel, you don't have to. So you still get it because you use past tense. Do they still get the money? $2,000 a year for oil and gold. Oil revenue. Okay. Wow. All right. So people getting a check to live in Alaska. All right. That's what's up. CEI, Camber Energy Corp. All right, you guys are looking for some of these energy plays that are running. Joel, okay, all right, cool. All right. Yeah, shout out to Alaska giving people checks, man. All right, let me see some of these oil and gas companies that you guys are looking for something that's got at least some decent volume in it and at least affordable. Crap. TGA. 5. What did this do today? CHK needs to be moving. That should be moving with what's going on. I mean, obviously, it's got a lot of natural gas though exposure. Probably a little bit more than ESV. Huge volume, but really not taking advantage of these moves. I'm kind of surprised that we're not getting bigger moves out of these oil and gas plays. You're gonna have to raise your prices up a little bit. WTI 323, which isn't bad too. But man, these oil and gases are lagging. Lagging. SDRL, yeah, we talked about SDRL, incredible gain today, 34% on that. DRRX, Joe Silva. All right, Joe Silva pulling up an oversold play. Up 9.5%. I like the trend. You're finally covering that falling window. All right, you're into the gap. Obviously, you probably would have been better off getting in here a little bit earlier than even where you are now. We've seen many times that, you get out just even barely out of oversold level, expecting continuation, and then it sells off. We had a hard time with that, especially when you bring up stocks like BW, right, which is still fighting, to get out of some real levels here. So it is what it is, but that's just kind of how it happens sometimes, man. EGLT down 5.5%. What's the story there? Not doing so well. A lot of bearish. Yeah, man, that's a no-go. That's a no-go looking at that primary trend. Let's take a look at it. OPGN. Oh, man, you guys are bringing up some shitty charts. OPGN. Nothing here as well. Hold your breath on this one, my man. Hold your breath on this one. ENRJ. All right, down 5, almost 6% today, soling off. It looks like you started off the day really well at ENRJ. What happened? Oil and gas play. Just couldn't keep it going, man. Just couldn't keep it going. Looks like it was classic pump and dump. And you got dumped on. Classic pump and dump, and you got dumped on. OLED, Universal Display. All right, large cap, $7.6 billion market cap. Nice several day moves here going higher. What's got the story? Got people excited. It looks like there was earnings recently back on the, oh, was that yesterday? Earnings here on the 6th. Looks like they crushed it. Looks like they crushed it. Nice move here. Very bullish moves since that earnings release. That's something to expect. I mean, you know, when these earnings reports come out, you know, if it's a very impressive beat, the very next day you know, you get, of course, the sell-off, right? You get the sell-off in the morning. Look for that buy on the dip and just, you know, let it rip. That's kind of how you play earnings, especially if you don't play into the announcement. You wait for whatever happens and play the move either up or down. Tomorrow, as we talked about Snap, Snap is going to open up, again, oversold. Guys are going to dump. You know, you'll have dip buyers come in, but at the end of the day, the earnings report was horrible. So those dip buyers will get killed as you know, guys who are looking to sell out of their Snap position. They're going to sell into dip buying. They're not going to sell at the open. That's the worst thing you do when you're down huge, is you don't sell into the open. You wait for the dip buy so you can at least recover something, even if it's 1 or 2%. You sell to the dip buyers when you're a bag holder. That's kind of what happens there. So maybe you can get another 1 or 2% just to save a few tears. CYTR. Okay. Wow. Okay, so you had the gap up open. Okay, this was a split. Was this a split? Looks like it was a reverse split. Classic reverse split price action here. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. So you had the reverse split, and you know, we had a stock a couple days ago. Somebody might have to remind me, that did a reverse split and squeezed the shit out of traders. And now here you have CYTR here on the 5-minute chart, but it looks like they're not going to go through the same kind of thing. That's not going to be the same kind of thing on that one. That looks like it's selling off just the way it's supposed to. Just the way it was supposed to. All right. Relative. How did I disrespect? Oh, God, man, you guys bitch so much. How did I disrespect Africa again? God damn, man. DCIX. We just got done talking about DCIX. Just got done talking about that. Just enjoy the pump on that one, but you could get a dip buy opportunity tomorrow on DCIX. If you remember, HMNY kind of started like that too. HMNY started like that, where you had the sell-off, and then you had the dip buy opportunity where, you know, you did have some people make money. Eventually, obviously, people got disinterested in the trade, but you know, there are, even after a huge sell-off, there are opportunities in there. So just watch the price action in DCIX tomorrow. You got a lot of confident people who think DCIX is game over, and they could get surprised tomorrow if they're not careful. They can get surprised tomorrow if they're not careful tomorrow on DCIX. If you look at it, very similar setup to day one. Very similar setup to day one. Day two, you didn't have the sell-off into the close. But, you know, very similar setup, so be very careful. DCIX shorters, you still got a lot of people who are interested in this stock, man. Yeah, Ronald Anderson, I'm done with that, dude. I mean, shit, we you know, so off that shit. So off that shit, man. I'm killing it. The markets is killing it. Traders are loving the show again, because we just talking about these tickers. We off that bullshit, man. EGLE. Let me see, man. Yeah, here's. I don't even know what this is, man. EGLE. Okay, so you're looking at you're trying to get on top of another shipping company, but here's the thing, my man. The shipping companies that you need to get up on were up today. Those were the moves today. I mean, RLOG. You know, RLOG. That was that move today. You know, don't look for the next one. Play the ones that are running right now. You know, because here's the thing. You try to jump into something that's next. You know, we don't even know if anybody else has got next. This might be the last one. So I wouldn't try to play, you know, the guessing game of trying to figure out who's next. Just wait for whoever runs and then, you know, take your bid. You know, and just start position sizing in. That's kind of how you play some of these, especially when you start seeing the move early. You know, you position yourself in, you know, with something small. And, you know, again, if you've got some capital to work with, obviously we understand commissions and how, you know, that can kind of eat away. But I look at, you know, if you're with a good broker, $4.99, $4.95, whatever it is, at your brokerage, that shouldn't deter you from making a small trade just to see if it's going in the direction that you wanted to go to. And if it is and it breaks an intraday high like this would have done today, then that very second that break, that's where you go in with, you know, the rest or whatever it is you want to put in, and you enjoy the run going higher, you know. And you just go ahead and pad the gains that you already got. Connor as a great pre-market scanner. It's awesome. Yeah, Connor is awesome. Connor is awesome. Great guy, Connor. I'm going to have Billy Ray on the show tomorrow. You guys have, oh man, Billy Ray made, you know, this guy's made over $180,000 in the last week and a half. He's made over $180,000. And I know he's not with the Profitability anymore. He's kind of doing his own thing. But he's at the point now where, you know, his size, he trades with so much size, he can't even go into small caps anymore because his size is so big. So at this point now, where he's going in with, you know, $102,000, $103,000, $100,000 positions, he's looking like a 2% move is like what is like, oh, done for the day, got my 2%. That's basically what he's doing. You know, killing the shorts, killing the longs. But I'm going to have him come in and explain it tomorrow. He hit me up tonight. I'm going to have him come and explain what he's been doing to kill it. Obviously, he's one to look to for what it could possibly be. The guy was a nurse, hated his job, long hours away from his family. Started trading, kept his job, but got to a point where he became so profitable, you know, it didn't even make sense to keep going to work. It didn't even make sense to keep going to work. Took a big risk, left his job, but by the time he left his job, he was sitting on more than several months worth of money he needed to live. So, and then he had an incredible wife he has rather, they're still married. He has a incredible wife that was supportive of his decision, and you know, his family is now thriving for it. And he's in fact teaching his wife how to trade. She's becoming a full-time trader now. She's becoming a full-time trader. It's going to be probably early, maybe 9:30 or so. You know, I'm not going to keep him up too late. But he's Wolf of Wall Street on Twitter, something like that. Yeah, he's got his wife trading with him now. Joe Silver, BPMX. I think you had brought this up earlier. Joe, what do you see in this, man? I like the move today, I mean, look, 22% move, right? That's a lot, right? It's very bullish. Completely eats away multiple days of trading in the stock. Incredible volume brought into the trade today. I think you look at the price action tomorrow to see if you can get some confirmation. That's really the only thing that you can do with this. I mean, it's a 4-cent move, but I'd hate anybody to jump in on this and end up losing quite a bit on something this cheap, because you guys know that a 2 or 3 cent move to the downside and a stock this cheap can really eat at that position. Yeah, he was on here. He had made $89,000 in one day, Cool Cats. $89,000 in one day. $89,000 in one day. And I know some of you guys, you think, oh, when you get the money, when you get the money, you're going to buy this and buy this. But, man, like, I can't, even in my own life, I can tell you, like, you get more joy on knowing that you can buy it than actually buying it, man. You get more joy knowing you can buy it than actually owning whatever it is that thing you dream about. You know, because I've gone out and I went to some of these exotic car dealerships, and I was like, shit, I'll rent a Ferrari, $2,100. Them things ain't even comfortable, dude. They're not even comfortable. And, you know, yeah, everybody's looking at you and shit, but, you know, at the end of the day, nobody gives a fuck. You know? Nobody gives a fuck about the fact that you got that. They're not even comfortable to sit in. They're so freaking low. When you get out the car, you got to do all that. I mean, they're not even comfortable, man. The cup holders are too small. You know, it's just, it's really, it's a very shallow feeling, honestly. It's a really shallow kind of feeling. What else are you guys looking at right now? DCTH. Oh, yeah, yeah. Why is DCTH bringing that up? Hold on. Oh, is it DCTHD? All right. It's reverse splitting? Did it reverse split? They're trying to get uplisted again? Is DCTHD? Looks like they reverse split, but man, this is horrible. Although they lost 40. I mean, you don't have any volume, but they still lost 43%. But, you know, you don't have any volume. Only 200,000 shares. I just want your 1940s, 1930s, 1950s Mercedes. Man, I haven't even told you guys the story, man. When I got my first, after I got out the Navy, right, I got signed up for the GI Bill. Shout out to John McCain. He got us the GI Bill. The first GI Bill was man, they were giving hell of money. It was like $1,800 a month. They revised it, but, you know, you got a lot lower. But because the first GI Bill was giving you, like, it was the equivalent of like BAH and hazard duty pay. Like I was making like what I was making on the flight deck, and I'm not even in the military anymore. I was like, oh shit. And you were paying you that. So the first couple months, right? So I got my refund check from school, and I get in this BAH plus that, you know, that had like a hazard duty pay on it. And I'm not, you know, so I went out and bought a 1995 BMW 540i. Boy, this car was so beautiful. I mean, just flawless in terms of the condition of the vehicle. Inside, I mean, in terms of the body, right, and you know, the seats and whatever. But nobody told me that BMWs were so fucking expensive to fix. I had something, I think it was a gasket issue. After he brought out whatever he brought out and showed me $3,400, I said, good Lord, I'm done. I'm done. So I had this beautiful, you know, 95, 540, 330 horsepower, clean machine, beautiful machine. But I couldn't drive it. When I stepped on the gas, it wasn't accelerating, right? I stepped on the gas. I mean, I put my foot on the gas, and it would, you know, my foot's on the gas, and it'll go to like 45. And it would take forever to get to like 70 or 80. I don't know. I didn't know what the fuck was wrong with it. But I was just being a dumbass. I went to the dealership, you know, just acting like a nigga, really. Just acting like a fucking nigga. And I saw BMW, you know, just being young, dumb, out of the military, got a little bit of money, and you know, bought this BMW, and you know, next thing you know, 3 months later, it's just sitting in the parking lot. And I found a guy who was very, you know, in hindsight, looking back, this guy was very intelligent, and older white dude came in, and he was nice enough to pay me what I paid for the car. I think he rebuilt the car because he was trying to play like he didn't know what it was, but the car was flawless, guys. The car was flawless. Only had like 100 and maybe 110 on it. It was a 95. This was what 06, 07? No, it's maybe 08. Yeah, it's 08. Sorry, 08. So it was beautiful, man. Just a beautiful car. Beautiful car. But if I can find another 95 BMW 540i, I would buy that car. But every time I've seen one, they're all, because they just end up in these ricers and all these wannabe, BMW owners who don't know how to have proper maintenance. QSIM. I think we looked at QSIM. Oh shit! What I do? Let's go back to trading view. Ended up trading too fast. Ended up back on Twitter for whatever reason. All right. You said you had bought an M3 E46 convertible. First repair was $300. Front rotors. Sold it for a profit. Yeah, man, I've made some really dumb decisions. And it's not even just me. It's just that being in the military, being with guys who just were young and dumb and just doing stupid shit. When you're in the military, you don't really start saving money until you become like an E5. That's when you're old enough to really be like, oh, okay, I should be saving money. By then, you probably have a kid or two, right? You probably have a kid or two. And then you're like, oh, okay, I should probably start doing something with my money. But from E1 to E4, what is it, 25, 26 a year? Even if you start on some shore duty, you eventually go out and you get, your BAH. If you get one of those fake marriages, and if you're in Norfolk, you got a fucking fake marriage, right? You find some whore that you go down to the courthouse and, you play like you love each other. And then you get your hazard duty pay plus your paycheck. And, you even for 4 years, you get all that money. You ain't going to do nothing with it. NEOT. But spend it on dumb shit. $1.24. NEOT. You see, I don't like the price action on this one either, man. I don't like the price action on this one. Said re-enlistment bonus is $22,000. See, when I was coming out of high school, though, those bonuses were like 40. I know we got some people here in their early 30s. You guys remember when you're in high school, those enlistment bonuses at the Marines and the Army? Those were like 40K, man. Yeah, shout out to your dad, Andrew. Them bonuses were like, yeah, you can receive $40,000. Yeah, them bonuses were huge. Them bonuses were huge, man. And it's so funny. I actually thought about the Marines. And we had this guy come to my high school. He was all decked out and, had his service uniform on. And, I mean, just, crisp. But that was just like, the whole Iraq war and all that. I was like, man, fuck that shit. You ain't gonna get my black ass out there in no damn Iraq. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna learn to swim. And I'm gonna go on the ship. FOXT. 20th Century Fox. 20th Century Fox, I think a better play if you want to play that kind of business is AMC, man. Who gave me the 20th Century Fox one? Yeah, just play AMC. I mean, it's Chinese owned, and then, by the way, they should be having earnings soon, unless they just did. Oh shit! Looks like they just did yesterday, and they actually beat. They beat yesterday, but it wasn't much of a move. You said your son just received $75,000 bonus from the Navy. That's what's up. The bonus. Look at that bonus. Yeah, Navy getting people bread. Received that $40K from the Marines. Got to the front line before you. But yeah, absolutely, Andrew. 206, Mr. Lloyd. What's up, man?
What's up, sir? How you doing, brother?
Doing good. How are you?
Man, I can't say I missed that opportunity with Price. Man,
You called it. And here's the thing, Mr. Lloyd. You called it, dude. You were totally all over, the fact that Priceline was going to miss,
But the thing of it is, it's like, you always get it after the fact. But, when you actually up in the shit, it always goes against me. And I think I only got it once right. But there was some guy that was bragging that he bought 20 contracts at $16.60 for $34.
Damn.
And he bought 20 contracts and he sold them at $2,000 a contract.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. I mean, that's wow. Yeah.
So
that's how it works.
Right, and so I decided to buy one contract. I bought one contract, and this is my first time. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is my first time buying out of the money contracts like you did Google. I bought one contract out of the money for January the 18th for like $3,000.
Okay.
And
now what's your strike?
1790.
Okay, and this is a call, obviously, right?
Yeah. The problem was, when I saw the drop this morning, I didn't look at the chart. When I saw 1760 something, I was like, okay, this is dropping pretty hard. I'm gonna just go ahead and get my ticket now and just hold on. And now when it went down to 1600, I got a little nervous. But I got what you were saying, that the farther you buy out, the less stress it is, because I've always played weeklies. And I finally understood. I'm down right now. I'm down, but the thing of it is, I'm okay with it because it's so far out.
Absolutely. I mean, that's how you play these things, man. I mean, we can look at some of these drops, and you can see what happens over a course of time. You just let it come back to you. Just let it come back to you, and going out and giving yourself that time to work back. It works in your favor. It works really in your favor. And a company like Priceline, man, they're going to be winning back again. We all know why they got there, the hurricanes and whatnot. So when is your expiration on that?
January, the first one in January. So whatever that contract is.
I wouldn't even worry about it, bro. I think this is a trade. I think you're going to be, if not close to the money, possibly by the end of this month, maybe even earlier. I mean, you're not going to stay Priceline 1645. No.
It's just not. And we're going to talk about this like, damn, you remember when Priceline was this low?
Absolutely.
And for the new people out there, man, I mean, it's amazing to see this. I mean, I never really caught the bottom and rode it up. I mean, I always I get in too early. And actually, I think I got in too early. I could have waited it out, but I got impatient. I mean, I just wanted to get in when it was, when I thought the time was right. But it's really hard to gauge this. But from a strategy standpoint, I would like to say this. It's terrible to play earnings like the prior two, unless you just want to gamble. But I should have dumped every last dime I had in there at the open of this, and use technical analysis to ride it down, basically to gauge my entries and exits. Because there were some guys that were buying contracts at $1,000 and came out. He said he sold his contract at $9,000. So he bought it for $1,000 and sold it for $9,000.
Well, this is how it's going to look like for maybe a company like Macy's. Macy's opens up tomorrow at 8 a.m. Snap is probably going to look something like this possibly, although I think you're going to have some idiot dip buyers in that. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Mr. Lloyd. This is, you can play that too, where you play the open and just be willing to take the risk to ride it down. Absolutely.
Right. I was kind of laughing at myself. Now I'm down with, 1,200. I was like, damn, I remember Sal was contemplating on selling Google and stuff when that fucking dip happened. I was like, nah, I'm in the same situation. I'm looking at my numbers like, damn, I know it's gonna go back up, but being in a situation like this teaches you patience.
Yeah.
And I never really had patience. I always wanted to get my money, get in and get out. But this is my first time doing long term in the options, so we'll see how that turns out, man. But some I wanted to share with you, man. How in the hell did you get a business license, man? Let me tell you something. So we're doing this Airbnb thing, man. Let me tell you, it's so complex with taxes and writing stuff off. I'm scared that the damn IRS is going to audit me with all this.
Now you have to have a business license, or do you just need to have it to be incorporated?
Yeah, so I have to have a state license, and then I need to get a city license as well.
Shit, man. See, that's that liberal city type bullshit, man. That's, oh my God, man. But to have a B&B, you need a city license, man.
Oh, they're actually, because the homeless rate is so high, everybody's doing short-term rentals around here because the housing market is extremely expensive. So they're adding all these taxes on there. So they're really the homeless rate is really high, and people are moving further and further out. So because there's so many short-term rentals, and because a lot of the Asians are buying up the properties from China. So yeah, man. I'm a little nervous, because I've never been audited by the IRS, and hopefully I don't ever have to come to that point. But I didn't, when you told me that you had a business license, as far as incorporating yourself, I thought, oh, it's all easy. I signed up, and next thing you know, I'm filling out all this shit, and now I'm worried about the IRS knocking on my door.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna I don't think that's gonna be an issue for what you're doing. I mean, nah, I don't see that happening at all, man. I wouldn't even stress it, dude. I wouldn't even stress it.
Now, are you still in Google at the moment?
No, I'm out of Google, dude. I'm out of Google. I took the cash and ran on that one. Obviously, where it's at right now. I mean, who would have thought that Google 1000 when I bought it was even going to be a thing, right? So. I was sitting in well over 4,000 in gains. I just, I was like, fuck it, man. I can double this and a whole bunch of other things. So I took it and ran. So,
right.
I would have loved to have been in this previous earnings announcement, but it is what it is, man. And Google is going to be one of those companies that will no doubt see 1,100, 1,200, 1,300. I mean, you just kind of know, unless federal regulators step in, it's going to the moon.
Right. And here's the thing, man. Now that I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been able to watch every show as I'm getting stuff together, man. Yeah. But it's crazy to see how we transitioned from talking about every single freaking sub penny play. We went from the dirt to the dirt of sub penny plays to 001s, and we kind of like slowly moved up, and now we're talking about shit that you used to kick people off the show. Man, we're not talking about no damn Google right now. That's too much. That's too much money for everybody. We're talking about penny plays, and now we're talking about $1,000 stocks. I mean, like shit. Yeah, you didn't even allow nobody to talk about nothing over $50.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, man. I mean, that comes with maturity, and it comes with making more money, and. I've gotten better at the craft, and a lot of people in the chat room have gotten better at the craft. So, I can't keep people stuck here on OTC plays when you're working with a lot more money, and the money means more now, right? So, and who wants to go to bed sitting on, 30% losses? You know what I'm saying? So, I like it, man. I like it. We because we can go low and then we can go high. Either way, whatever you want to do, we can do it all. So. I'm embracing the change.
You know what? And if I could do it all over again, man, and for people that probably just tuning in for the first time, if I can do it all over again, I learned so many dirty habits when it comes to trading. I wish that, I'd never start off with OTCs because I think I got some type of PTSD from all the pumps and dumps. You know what I'm saying? So when you start going into the real shit, you have that OTC mentality.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not going to say nothing. I haven't played OTC in a while.
Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, when's the last time you played a sub-penny play?
It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute. Maybe FPVD a couple of weeks ago, but other than that, I mean, yeah, it's been a long time since I played like an OTC, like just straight up, put, a couple hundred in, and I'm watching it daily and all that. It's been a long time. I mean, you after a while, there's just so much better places you can get the money. You know what I mean? The small cap Nasdaqs and some of those other plays, they're just more liquid. You don't have to worry about what other traders are doing. You just follow the price action, and you try to make it work for you. And
I mean, shit. Look at those tickets those guys posted in the room, man. That's five letters long. I ain't even put a ticket that had 5 letters in there and shit in months.
Yeah.
But this guy talked about Bitcoins, man. You know what? I have no idea about Bitcoins. There was some lady I met the other day. She said she invested $30,000 in Bitcoins, back in 2011 or something like that, and she's getting ready to retire. And I'm thinking to myself, how come we never invested in Bitcoins? Actually, I heard about it, but I thought it was kind of like bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wasn't really educated about it, but now, seeing that, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, there's so many $1 million stocks, like Microsoft, or what was the other, the .com when it just first started. I mean, there's a lot of things that we'll probably talk about in the future that we wish we would have gotten. And like, damn, we looked at it every day. It was 2 cents, and now it's $1 million a share. So
yeah.
I don't really have an opinion about Bitcoins. I mean, I'm still struggling trying to make a daily profit. And, these guys are posting 60,000, 80,000 in profits.
Yeah. But Mr. Lloyd, Bitcoin, it's actually the real deal, man. It's a new asset class. I wouldn't even touch any of the altcoins, but Bitcoin itself, I think it's far, set itself up as the new standard in terms of an asset class, man. It's really the thing to trade. I think if you are interested in going shorted, or if you think it's going to go away, you're really going to get burned. I don't see no doubt Bitcoin 10,000, 20,000, because I've already seen it. I already had a show where I spent almost an hour talking about it. And when you have people in villages in Africa, man, who are trading Bitcoin, where I can send them, I don't even send them dollars. I'm sending them Bitcoin, right? So if I want to send $300 to Africa, instead of going through Western Union or MoneyGram, and I just send Bitcoin instantaneously, and they get the money, man. And it's so much easier for a lot of the people in the markets to do business, farmers to do business. People aren't afraid of carrying a lot of cash anymore. They just simply have it on their phones. So it's life-changing, man, for life-changing. And you got to think about it not as what Americans are doing. Think about it, what it means to someone in a developing country that doesn't have a stable government, that doesn't have a stable currency, that doesn't have a stable financial system.
Right.
What Bitcoin can do for that person. Because the world now is beyond the U.S., man. I mean, U.S. is, we're developed. Now it's about getting these other countries to the next level. And that's where Bitcoin comes in.
Well, let me tell you how I think Bitcoin got started, man. I don't know if you ever had your computer hacked, but that if anybody out there know what I'm talking about, that virus that locks everything up and they ask you to pay in Bitcoin. I mean, what the hell is that virus name? Basically, it's a virus that was every picture you had, every music, everything you had on your computer is locked up, and basically you got to pay them $300 in Bitcoin to some underground unit. But I think it got probably.
I remember, because that fucked me over one time on the show. It was like live, It was something funny like critical alert from Microsoft.
Right.
Critical alert. I'm like, I'm not paying shit. It's Alt Control Delete, Alt Control Elite. I'm trying to get the fuck out of there, but yeah, man. It fucked up my system. That was crazy.
And because I had all my whole entire court case, all the documents I was working on there, and I contemplate paying, man. But there's some people that have to pay to get their stuff back, and I think Bitcoin. That's how it got so popular, because people were being held hostage. They're holding people hostages. Corporations, computers, because of these viruses, and it's nasty, man. And so, if it wasn't for these hackers doing that, I mean, hell, I mean, pretty soon you're gonna be getting robbed for your Bitcoins. Once they find a way, I think Bitcoins could be hackable.
Oh yeah,
I mean, but I don't.
They're already doing it. They're already doing it. I mean, they've already had instances where people's Bitcoin has been hacked. Several of them actually. So that's why for a lot of those people who own them, security is like at the most important. Is most important to them. I mean, they don't have anything. Right. Besides, making sure, of course, they can do whatever they want with their Bitcoin, their security of their wallet is critically important. So they make sure that they don't give away anything where people can have access to it. So, yeah, right. Absolutely.
And I don't mean to hog up all the show, man, but I just want to ask you a question, just reflecting back. If there was one thing you could have changed differently about the way you traded back then and now, something that you wish you never learned or a style of trading, what would that have been? If you can take one thing back, and I guess if it was for me, man, learning how to do technical analysis on pump and dumps. I think that was probably my pitfall, trying to really analyze, pump and dumps.
I would have taken options more seriously. I would have taken options more seriously. Because we have just lived through the most incredible bull market that this world has ever seen. I mean, when you look at tickers like NVIDIA, what that did this year, what AMD did this year, what Google did this year, what Facebook did this year, and you talk about somebody who could have gone in on a leap option in January, or a spread, in March when everybody else was doubting, right? The incredible amount of gains that these people are sitting on right now, I'm talking about life-changing money. That's you can't get that trading penny stocks. And I think if I would have just heard some people out a little bit more, I'd probably be sitting on maybe twice, 3 times, maybe 4 times the money I'm working with now. So. I would have gotten into options significantly earlier.
And I think hearing Connor make that money first, I kind of laughed at it. I said, "Oh, that's bullshit." You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, you ain't making that much money, man. I mean, it took me a while to get into it, but seeing it now, I wish. Yeah, you're right. I wish I would have got into options a little bit. And we can still learn, but it's trying to get rid of those other habits and really just focus on that. And I just I know you still got those OTC habits in your mind.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, obviously. I mean, sometimes you are impatient, right? Because OTC, when you're sitting on a gain, the first thing you want to do is hit the sell button and sell out. And next that's the thing that it hurts you in options and in some of these large caps. That the next day you look at the trade and it's still going in your direction. You're like, fuck, if I was just a little bit more patient, I'd have twice the money I have right now. You know what I'm saying? Because the stock is up another 2%. That means maybe another 30, 40% on my option that I would have gotten. So, yes, absolutely. I get haunted day in and day out by that legacy. But, I mean, you just try to work at it and figure it out.
And my last question, man. I mean, do we still talk about world issues around? I mean, are we still able to, make a comment about world issues?
Yeah. You can talk about world issues. My thing is, I just don't want to get into the politics of it, man. Because
okay, let's not get into the politics of it, man. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm scared to leave my house right now. I mean, you can't go to church, you can't go to the movies, you can't go to a concert. I mean, hell. Yeah. The only way to stay safe is sitting in the house. I mean, hell, I was thinking about the guy who killed up all those people playing watching Batman, and then now the people, and then it seems like these mass killings are just increasing, and I blame it on CNN.
And it's scary to go to the movies. We've talked about that on the show. It's scary. It's scary to go to the movies, man, because when I go to the movies and I see somebody turn that corner, because I like to sit in the middle, right? So when I see somebody make that corner, I'm looking at their hands, bro. Like, you know, what you got there? What you trying to do? You know what I mean?
Right.
I walk into the theater. I look. The first thing I'm looking for is the exits. I'm trying to figure, okay,
right.
if I have to make a move, I'm gonna have to jump over this damn, you know, whatever that is, that ledge, and go 9 feet down or whatever that is. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get the fuck out of there, man. But you know, I have a gun now, and it's a little bit of security. My biggest fear is having to actually use it. You know, because I don't want to use it. If I have to use it, I will. But I don't want to use it. And but yeah, it is creepy, man. And, you know, you have to be aware of situations more. And I try to avoid places where there are like a lot of people. And yeah, man, it's
PTSD setting it, ain't it?
It is. Right. It's a weird time to be living in right now, man.
Right. And I think people got killed going in Walmart. That guy just walked in and shot 4 people. I mean, and then CNN talks about it for fucking 15, 20 days, and you know, somebody that's mentally ill, you think they watching that shit? You know what? I'm gonna go and kill another 50 people. And it's like, man. I mean, so does this make you think twice about, you know, if you date somebody and they want to go to the fair or carnival, would you be hesitant to go out, or do you just kind of just have faith and just go?
Well, now I go. I mean, I go. I mean, because you know, like I said, now, I mean, I'm not, you know, it doesn't. You know, especially now out in public, I'm usually strapped, so it's whatever you want it to be. I mean, I got mine on me, so but I don't like, you know, being out in places where it's a lot of people, like fairs and shit like that, because those are hot spots, you know, for weirdos. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And even when you go to those events, the first thing you do is you look for the people who stand out because they're weird as hell. You know, so it is what it is, man.
And then, you know, I seen somebody open carrying in Walmart one time. Open carry, you know, like I'm saying. I mean, I got to conceal, but you know what? I get a little nervous when I see people open and carrying. You know, like they got something to show. Yeah. So, but other than that, man, I mean, you know, I'm gonna be kind of hanging low because I'm not going to be. I'm gonna study on this Priceline. I got this case, and I need to get these damn taxes together before the end of the year, because, you know, I put a lot of money into the house for this Airbnb, so I need to at least try to figure out my return on investment. But thanks for giving me the floor for so long, man. And you know what, man? Look, you need to help me get that background in there. I'm tired of looking at the roaches crawling up the walls. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, we got to fix it up a little bit, man.
All right, appreciate it. Hey, we're not all millionaires like you, Mr. Lloyd.
Oh man, I'm only millionaire I'm not even a millionaire, man. I'm just a man that's living. That's all.
Bullshit.
All right, bro. Thanks,
Mr. Lloyd.
All right,
have a good one, bro. All right, shout out to Mr. Lloyd, man. Shout out Mr. Lloyd and all the callers. Always love hearing from one of my earliest listeners, man. Earliest listeners. I'm talking about a guy who was in this chat room when we only had like 7 people in here, man. We only had like 7 people live. I mean, live for 5-6 hours. Those were when I was doing like 5-6 hour shows, man. 5-6 hour shows with like 7 people. Crazy shit. Somebody was asking me what kind of gun. Oh, Craig G, you remember I bought the High Point. I got 2 now. I had the High Point 445 caliber. Right, but that shit is heavy as fuck. You know, carrying around a 45. You know, and then every time I would talk about it, everyone's like, "Oh, those guns jam. Those guns jam." That gun is never jammed. That gun is never jammed ever. But everybody thinks High Points jam. Now the old models they jam, but these new ones, you know, these new 45s you can get for $200, they never jam, man. So I just got tired of people talking about it, and then I went out and bought the Ruger 9mm, and that's what I use. That's what I use. Yeah. So that's what I use. And that's fine. That's fine with me. So it is what it is. I actually meant the Sour. Sorry about that. Sour 9mm. The P 20. 20 P something, P20 something, P20 something, P20 something like that. A little bit more expensive, less, not as heavy. Not as heavy. Yeah. You say your friend makes military gun. You know what? I've seen these guys with these AR-15s. I don't know if I want an AR-15 in my house, man. I don't know. I think that's a little much. You said you got the SIG P228. Yeah, mine's has got more numbers on it, Jeff. I think it's the P2022, 9mm. 2022, something like that. More expensive than my High Point. Less not as heavy. Not as much bang, but it's okay. Not as much bang, but it's okay. I mean, the 45 is a little much. And Craig, you told me about that. What's going on, Sinclair? I do need a subcompact, Craig G. I need a subcompact, like a little 22 or something. Maybe what's a little bit bigger than a 22? The 22 is a little bit too small, man. You know, someone with a 9mm. I don't want to have to deal with someone with a 9mm, and I got a 22, man. That wouldn't feel. Yeah, Crypto River. You said a 25. RGSE. Real Solar Good. Yeah, but the 45 was way too much. The 40mm subcompact. Okay. They have a compact 9mm. That used to be the gang member's gun in the back of the day. Yeah, I was afraid if I ever had to use that, because that 45, that put a damn hole in a couple people if I had ever had to use that shit. You know, you go to jail for, oh, you killed the bad guy, but you killed whoever was standing behind the bad guy. All right. And by the way, shout out to this guy who stopped that church shooter. Well, he didn't stop him. He just ended up killing the guy. But, you know, that was more of a failure from the military point of view, man. This guy was a wacko, man. And the military just failed, man. The military, they failed, man. They failed, man. If you guys been following that story, they failed, man. They big time. That guy shouldn't have been allowed to be able to carry anything. More Peace SWBG 380. He said the RPG 7 will take care of anything in the house. Tokarev will go through body armor. See, my thing about these guns is I don't want to use them. Is they're for protection. I don't ever want to be in a situation where I have to use a firearm. Period. But I have a constitutional right to have one, and I'm going to have one because I don't ever want to be caught without one, right? In a situation where I don't have one. But I don't ever want to be, be in a situation where I have to do it. I've already told myself, if I'm one day and I'm in the bank and somebody come in, I'm fucking running out. I don't care if I got it on me. I'm getting the fuck out of there. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to run behind my car, and when I see you come out that door, I'm going to, I'm going to try and take some shots at you. I'm not going to lie about that. But when I'm inside the bank, you inside the bank, I'm out of there. I'm going to wait for you to come running out. That's when I'm going to get you. You know what I'm saying? Shit. That's when I'm going to get you. Yeah. He said that's why Navy guys stay on the boat. Oh, man. You say you get 20 years because he turned around and shot you in the back? Yeah, I mean, yeah. You see, that's a situation, too, where you don't know, when is self-defense not self-defense anymore? You had a situation where this guy in Florida, he killed like 3 teenagers in his house. You know, that's a little bit much. Now these guys were armed, but they were armed with like hammers and shit like this. This guy had like an AR-15, man. Killed all 3 of those teenagers with this AR-15. 3, all of them under 18. I think there was like one that was under 18, and then they had a girl who was like in the car outside waiting for him, and she was the one that planned it all out. You guys remember hearing about that? He said, "Did I do a lot of painting on the ship?" I didn't participate in any of the painting, but there was a lot of painting. I mean, there's always painting on the ship. Oh yeah, man. There's always painting on the ship, you know. You know, you do a lot of cleaning, a lot of cleaning and shit like that, you know. Everybody knows where all the really dirty spots are, but everybody pretends like they don't see them on the ship. There are a lot of real nasty parts to a ship, man. There are really nasty, dirty parts. Like, you can tell nobody's put a rag in that corner, that crevice over there, and since that shit was built. But people just pretend like they don't see it, you know. Just nasty ass shit, dude. And then, you know, after you show up, I mean, you do a lot of cleaning too, because you might end up at your command, but they might send you to go work for the CSs, the cooks, for a couple months. You might have to go, you know, serve dinner, lunch, and breakfast, bro. You know, that's probably one of the dirtiest parts of the job. You know, having to do that shit, unless your commanding officer really likes you. But most people have to do it. It's kind of like a rite of passage kind of shit. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I mean, all that stuff like that. And then sometimes, you know, when you had a duty day, you know, you have a duty day, and your duty day is your, like, the day you have to, like, basically stand and man the ship, you know, because everybody, and it's an old habit that goes back from, like, the 1700s, you know, so everybody's, you know, they're at their home chilling, and your duty day, you're on the ship, you know, all day, all night. And the idea is that, you know, you're just manning your position or whatever it is, or you might take some tours of the compartments. You know, but guys would always fuck the book up, and I would have to do like these rounds, right? You have to do rounds at certain compartments, and the smart guys, if you were smart, right, if you knew you had to do a round every 45 minutes, instead of actually doing the round, when you got to the compartment, you would put, okay, 145, 245, 345, 445, and you would do one round and just, you know, go fucking lay down or some shit like that. But then the commanding officer got smart, so he would wait for you, and if you didn't show up at the compartment you were supposed to be at, oh, dude, you were fucked. You were fucked. You were fucked, man. All right, so let me just find some more quick trades here real quick. XLE, before I get you guys out of here, it's almost midnight here on the Eastern Standard Time. You have watched my option video, still having trouble understanding when to pick. Well, Otis, I mean, yeah, the option videos that I put out there, you know, they're just real fundamentals. But at the end of the day, I mean, you know, when it comes to options, the shorter the move that you're looking to make, then the shorter your option. If you want less risk, then you pick an option that's further out. So you don't have to worry about time decay. You always want to pick an option that has a very high delta, preferably something over 50. You know, if you want to pick an option that doesn't have a delta that high, then you got to have the expectation that there's going to be sudden implied volatility, so maybe a huge move that you're expecting in a very short period of time. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. It'll take time for you to understand. Do I use Tasty Trade? Yeah, I here and there, man. But now I've pretty much moved everything to Interactive Brokers. So all these brokers I used to have, I just really don't fuck with like that anymore. Yeah, Adam Koo is really good. What indicators do I use? I mean, I just use RSI now. RSI, MACD, money flow, Bollinger Bands. Nothing weird. I don't use anything weird or anything like that, And they're not, moving averages, And it's just, for me, it's not to tell me what to do. It's just to confirm something I'm already thinking. It's just to confirm something I'm already thinking, And that's how you're supposed to be using indicators. It's not really to say, hey, buy. It's to confirm, oh, shit, okay, this is really oversold or overbought. One move I'm looking at right now is AT&T. AT&T oversold. I like the green day today in AT&T. I'm looking at a possible, January option on AT&T. Or maybe something even closer, because I think the bullish move, I'm going to see if tomorrow we get bullish confirmation. I'm going to jump in there for a quick, 30, 50 cents higher move. I don't know. AT&T selling off, but I wish the move was, I don't know. I don't know if it's for real or not. So we'll see on that. But there are quite a few plays out there for tomorrow. I mean, Snap, Macy's, Intel is oversold. The market in itself is kind of hot and could use a cooling off, right? You said don't forget to start Equity Feed. Yeah, Equity Feed gets sponsored out. I mean, they got the little thing, my little logo up there. CCI, yeah, CCI is good. CCI is good. The Complete Turtle Trader. I'm not big into the whole Warren Buffett buy and hold thing anymore. I don't know if that works.
This is Sean calling. How you doing?
All right, looks like we got a troll in the building, guys.
Hold on.
Get out of here, you damn nigger!
All right, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. All right. You say you don't feel any volume on AT&T. No, there's volume on AT&T. Oh, there's volume on AT&T options, man. There was a huge move on that. There's volume on there. Check again. Look at the open interest in the daily volume on AT&T. Particularly when I look at the that January 19th, $32. No, let's say January 19th, $33 call is going for $1.18. It's going for $1.18. Something like that. I mean, again, you can get a little bit closer. You can get a little closer, and you'll get more, implied volatility if you come closer. But I don't want to get too deep into that. Am I going to the 40/40 concert? Nah, man. Jay-Z. I've seen Jay-Z in concert once. I've seen Jay-Z in concert once. I'm not a big fan of the hip hop concerts, man. That shit is like, guys like to get a little, it always attracts a weird crowd, man. Weird crowd. It depends on the location, right? And the rapper, of course. I fucked up and went to a Boosie show back in Detroit. I mean, you want to talk about rats. Well, I've never seen so many damn hood rats in my life. I mean, and dudes who were just itching for a fight. Just, yeah, man, and I'm look, I just like to go do my thing, get the fuck out of here. I don't like to deal with people, on that kind of, N-word bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And you just, come on, dog, man. You step on my J's, yo. Oh, shit, man. Look what you did to my J's, man. Damn. God damn. There's 400 people in here. I mean, of course, somebody's going to step on your shoes. Shit. You know. Let me see here. You say you better find a wall and watch. Relative, why do you keep relative? What's your problem? Why do you keep saying I'm disrespecting to black people? Why do you keep bringing that? What do you keep saying, dude? Every time you in here talking about I'm disrespecting the black people, what are you talking about? What's going on, Stock Z? Yeah. I like Boosie though, man. You'll be surprised at my music choices. I like Boosie. I like this guy out of Memphis. What's the name of the tall, dark-skinned guy, man? The guy who just got shot in Los Angeles. I like him. I like this other guy out of Memphis. He just came out with that So Important song. And every time on his track, he's like, I forgot his damn name. What's the name of his track? So Important. What's his name? God, what's that rapper name? Song. So Important. God, hold on, man. What is that dude's name? Memphis rapper. Moneybag Yo. That's his name. Moneybag Yo. I like Moneybag Yo. Young Dolph. Yeah, Young Dolph. I like Young Dolph. I'm still a Yo Gotti fan. I love Yo Gotti because I think Yo Gotti, his beats are sick as fuck. But all those guys come out of Memphis, man. Their beats are hot. Fire, man. Yeah, their beats are fire. And they got good rhymes. So it's not just like a beat thing. It's like, okay, man, damn, them rhymes is fire, dude. Absolutely, Joe. Look, man, they got people who get killed at concerts, man. You know, that's real. You got people who get killed at concerts. People who just mind their business, going there looking for a good time, and they don't come home, man. You know, who needs that kind of drama? But you got guys who live through the lyrics of some of these rappers, or yet they wanna be a rapper so bad they go to the show to challenge the rapper. And when the rapper is just like on some like, man, I don't really know you, I don't really fuck with you type shit, you know, they're like, man, you disrespected me in my hood, disrespected me in my community. You know, they don't even say community, they say some other word. You know, even though you don't own nothing on the block. What's that line Jay-Z said? Don't die for the block your mama's renting on or something. That line was deep as hell, bro. Appreciate you, James. We about ready to get up out of here. I got a big day tomorrow with Snap, man. Man, shout out to everybody who came with me on Snap, man, because we killed it, bro. We killed it on Snap, man. The stock is going to open up tomorrow at $12.50, where that line is right there. Killed it on Snap, man. What a payday. You said you see what Plies did? Yeah. And then Plies is also, he's working with this other kid out of Chicago, NBA YoungBoy. You know, guys like that NBA YoungBoy. Look, I support anybody who gets out of the gutter and stuff. That whole I got it out the gutter type. But guys like that, their music gets kids killed, man. Their music gets kids killed out here. You know, it turns young women into whores, right? Turns young women into just whores, out there doing things just because they think guys like that. You know, so this music, man. And I don't want to come off like an old head because I'm not an old head, but I like the 90s raps more than, you know, I love the new rappers because, you know, they still make me bob my head and shit, but at least the 90s raps, man, was, you know, it wasn't so damn violent all the time, man, because I don't want to just be thinking about killing somebody all the time. You know, one guy who I was just getting into because he just put out a great song about this was maybe 2 years ago. Iverson on you, something like that. I'm balling on you. You know, I'm feeling the song. I'm like, oh shit, this Iverson song. Okay, yeah, shout out. You know, Iverson, you know, Allen Iverson, one of my favorite players, you know, growing up. That's what's up. I love that song. Then I come to find out he just put out a new song talking about, yeah, me and my homies coming in your neighborhood, rat-ta-ta-ta. What? What are you talking about, dude? You don't know anything about gunplay? Have you heard his new song where he's talking about dudes coming to people's neighborhoods and rat-a-tat-tang? Like, it's fun? This is people coming to neighborhoods just with AK-47s? All right, guys. I'm not going to keep you guys up all night. I know some of you guys got work tomorrow, and we got to get to these trades in the AM. I'll be back tomorrow. Now I got some things to look forward to for the rest of the week. We got some, you know, the shippers running, you know, some decent other plays that are developing slowly. Hopefully this oil and gas starts moving, because it just hasn't. He said 90s hip. Yeah, 90s hip hop was violent. I'm not gonna say 90s hip hop wasn't violent, Londale. 90s hip hop was violent. Mr. Lloyd says Angie. Sean Kingston. Yeah, Sean Kingston is, you know, I feel sorry for Sean Kingston, man. He came out a little too early. Because I think if Sean Kingston came out now, he'd probably still be banging. T-Pain is another guy who came out too early. If T-Pain came out now, T-Pain would be fire, dude. T-Pain would be fire if he came out now. He's a guy who came out a little too early. But he had a good run. He just, you know, couldn't keep it popping. But you got a few rappers out there who came out a little early. But it is what it is. Like, what's this name who came out with Gucci Man? Oh, man. OJ the Juice Man. OJ the Jew Man. Oh, that's what he used to call himself. I like OJ the Juice Man. He had his time too, but I think if he came out now, he'd be, man, that dude be popping, man. I love some good old school OJ the Juice Man. Yeah, rat-a-tat-tat performers. Chris Brown turned into Satan. Yeah, Chris Brown. Let me tell you something, man. Chris Brown, you know, he's incredibly talented, but I don't know if he sold his soul or what, because they keeping that man, you know, they keeping him on top for forever. I mean, he's been up there for a minute now. So they like Chris Brown. Whoever they really like Chris Brown. I mean, Chris Brown's been almost what? Almost 12 years now for Chris Brown. I'm thinking like 2005. I remember hearing Chris Brown. So they've been keeping him around for a minute. But he's talented. He's incredibly talented. He said if T-Pain didn't come out when he did, the music scape would be different now. I agree. Short Bus Shorty on YouTube. No, but man, I saw, what's this guy? Delvin. You know this guy who looks like he's got mental illness. Delvin or something like that on Instagram. This brother had a video on, did you see that girl he was on Instagram with the big ass titties? Shit. You know, she wasn't that pretty, right? She wasn't, I mean, she was like, you know, a good, I'll give her, you know, a good 7.5, 8. You know, she was all right. She was like, she's the one girl, like, you know, you hit it. That's your home girl, right? You know what I mean? She got a fatty or she got some big breasts. You hit it every now and then. You know, you ain't gonna go out, you know, put her on Front Street, but, you know, she was one of the, yeah. I saw that dude post that video. I'm like, okay. Even that, you could look retarded, dude. You can literally look. He is retarded. He literally is mentally delayed, and this brother's getting play. He's getting play, man. He's getting play. You know? And I say that just because, man, I was talking to some of my sister's friends, you know what I mean? Just, just in conversation with all of them, and they were talking about how, it's just not a lot of guys out here, and it's like a competition for guys. And I'm like, it's just brought up in my mind, like, damn, okay. If mentally challenged, mentally delayed men can pull women, it's got to be really bad out here for the sisters, man. For women in general. It's got to be bad. This woman had like them things. She had to have like, I don't know, what were those, like end cups? Them things was big, bro. And he's all up on her, his face all in it. I mean, I'm like, God damn. I was jealous just watching it. FPP. Field Point Petroleum looks like trash, dude. You said make a comment. It looks horrible. What is this? I don't know what this is, man. Mixed nut. Yeah, it's horrible, man. Only 100,000 shares traded. Good night, Michael. All right, man. Everybody press like on this. I'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll wrap up the markets. Hopefully we have, this kind of day tomorrow, man. We had incredible volatility today. Man. Over 20 stocks with 20% gains or higher, all under $10 a share. Incredible day, man. Incredible day. So that makes my job here on this show a lot easier. Because I don't want to beat a dead horse, but man, it was hard doing this show last week, man. Coming on this show and trying to pretend like I had, a whole bunch of stocks to talk